Hi, I'm David Jeans. Next to me I have Rich Bockman, who wrote this month's cover story for the magazine, Real Estate Surveillance State. Today we're going to have a short discussion about how he got onto the story and what surprised him throughout the reporting process and what his ultimate conclusions were. Rich, I'm pretty curious to know initially what sort of started your interest in the story, and then you worked on it for several months.
Yeah, I was at the ICSC conference here in New York, and one of the brokerages showed me this foot traffic map that they had built to show retailers which side of the sidewalk had more traffic throughout the day. And they built it using geolocation data that comes from mobile phones. They bought it from a third party that had collected it. And I got really interested in the supply chain of that, and I learned more about this alternative data that companies are using, and it sort of led me down a rabbit hole to how the industry is using new technology and data.
So what sort of questions did you start asking next?
How it got into use in the real estate industry. I was aware that marketers and advertisers were using this, and I sort of had this feeling that they had realized that they needed to expand that market. They needed to find new customers, and retail is sort of a natural extension of that.
There has been a lot of pushback to this data collection process. What was your findings there?
It was interesting. As I was writing the story, maybe twice a week there would be a story that came out that touched on this topic in a very micro sense. And I was thinking, well, this is great for the story because I'm taking this big picture and I'm putting it all together. I think that it's hard when those stories come out to see the broader picture, right? These technologies, and this is something that we get to in the story, they have a lot of potential to better our lives and even the world. Rudin management is investing a lot in smart building technology to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, and that's something that could save the planet. A lot of the technology that we are starting to see in our homes could really better our lives. But we're still figuring out if the cost is worth it, if we're giving up too much privacy to get there.
And what was your big sort of takeaway from the story? I mean, it was like 4,200 words, so you really dove into the topic.
A lot of the rules have yet to be written. There's still a large question about ownership, about who owns the data. If you have a smart device in your building, is it the device manufacturer? Is it the building manager? Is it the partnership that owns the building? And I think that a lot of people have their own answers for those questions.
All right, and on that, thanks Rich for joining us. You can read his story in this month's magazine or online at therealdeal.com.